You know who I am. White lights to the stage. My game. Time to play. Bustin' heads. If you ask anybody, that's a fact. Who am I? You know who I am. Who am I? You know who I am.
I can't believe I'm actually doing it. What's up, y'all? This is Najasism, your hoochie daddy, and I'm finally streaming. I'm finally doing this. I've been wanting to stream. I've been wanting to do this type of thing for a long time. So I've been working on CV, the new channel, the new network, and under CV we have the Wrestling With It podcast, which I started last year, and we're about to get back to bringing out. And this is another element of the Wrestling With It podcast. Tonight we're reviewing Wrestlemania, and hey, you know, excuse me for all the errors or whatever happens tonight, because hey, this is my first time doing it. This is my first time doing a video like this, so you know we're gonna make it happen. But like I said, tonight we're talking about Wrestlemania. See, I said excuse the errors because sometimes they might happen. But tonight we are talking about Wrestlemania. I know it's a lot of mixed feelings about the show, but hands down, I do think night 2 was definitely 10 times better than night 1. I don't know what everyone's opinion is on it, but my opinion is what we're here to talk about. My opinion is what we're going to touch on tonight. And from night 1, I think the main thing that really stood out to me, let me see. I should talk about the good before I talk about the bad. So starting the night off, I think that the match with starting the night off, I love the Paige return. And honestly, when her music hit, I was like, I know that music. What is that music? And when she came out, it was just so out of the blue for me because I don't keep up with a lot of rumors all the time. And a lot of times I don't watch it as just a regular fan. I watch it as somebody who wrestles, somebody who books shows and works behind the scenes in the indies and stuff like that. So sometimes I don't get into a lot of the things that the fans might get into, or my opinions may differ. So, you know, her being injured, her, you know, having the small comeback, then having to leave again, and it was just a lot. So that was, of course, I think a lot of people's opinion about night 1 was a lot of the matches were short, right? I keep hearing that over and over. Oh, the matches were too short. But I feel like, you know, you should be able to get out a really good match in 8 to 10 minutes. And, you know, a fatal 4-way match, that's a lot of women in that match. It's a lot going on in that match. So it's kind of hard for everyone to do a lot. But I feel like within the time that they were given, everybody got to shine in some type of shape or form. And I do feel like eventually the Irresistible Forces, undefeated as a tag team in a regular tag team match, I do see them possibly getting the belts back soon. I would like that because I think we can build Lash a little more in that tag team before they put her as a singles, you know, get her a little more, like I would say, compared to how they did with Jade and Bianca and gave her that time to get acclimated to the main roster. And, you know, I feel like that's where we can go with the Irresistible Forces. And then let's think about what else happened on night 1. Night 1, I can't really think of. I think Becky. Now I do think Becky and I think Becky's match was a little. That did feel short to me. It didn't feel short. It just felt like they were rushing. AJ and Becky, good story. It's been a story that's been building over months. You know. Oh, they've been in the ring with each other from the War Games to the Intercontinental title. We've seen it all from them. And I felt like the pace could have slowed a little bit. I don't know. But one thing that I loved about WrestleMania Night 1, Seth Rollins' entrance, The entrance with the smoke coming off and the eyes and that match, of course, I don't know. I don't think it's up for debate. The Seth Rollins and Gunther match did what it was supposed to do. It felt like the main event. It stole the show, in my opinion. It was just a good freaking wrestling match that I loved. The only little spot I didn't like was when Gunther did the power bomb to the apron, and then he did the power bomb again to the table. I felt like we didn't get the full. I don't feel like Seth sold it enough, and that's me from a wrestling mindset. I feel like we should have saw a little more pain on his face, or him grabbing at his back, or him holding his back. I felt like that should have gotten a lot more attention after those double power bombs. Even when we went into the finish and everything like that, I would have liked to see Seth's back get sold more. But anyway, that match stole it. So let's talk about what everyone's talking about. Oh my God. So I look at everything from a business mindset. Having Pat McAfee involved in that main event put more eyes on the main event, yes. The social media stuff, his podcast, it put more eyes and it just put more people watching it. I guess that's the best way to say it. But I even think the build was kind of okay, with Randy turning on Cody and everything like that. But I think the whole Pat thing came because the crowd went and boo Randy. So you're trying to force us to boo Randy, and by adding Pat McAfee, we did get people starting to turn a little bit on Randy, but I don't feel like we got the full. They tried to force a story. Let's get it out there. They tried to force a story. They tried to force us to boo Randy, where I honestly felt like it didn't need to be that. I know we don't want Cody booed and everything like that. And I know we're not trying to turn Cody heel right now just because the crowd is trying to shove it that way. They tried to do it with Roman. They did it with Cena, but they didn't turn Cena. They didn't turn Roman until, it really for years and years. So I don't think they're going to let the crowd bully them into turning him. But I don't know. It just felt off the entire time to me. It just... From the entrances was good. The entrances was good, but from Pat having his own separate entrance, coming out and doing the whole introduction, it just felt so forced. Then everything that happened in the beginning, yes, Cody attacking Pat and everything, that got the crowd to cheer because they wanted Pat gone, but it did not change the crowd's opinion on Cody except for that one moment. The crowd wanted Randy, and hey, if you wanted Randy to be the heel, let's go to heat. Let's let Randy do what he does and be a heel. But that whole beginning of the match, it just felt like they were forcing. I don't know. It felt like Cody was doing heat. It felt like Cody was being the heel in the beginning of the match, and you're trying to do all this stuff to make us cheer him. Then we get in the match, and Cody's beating down Randy, and Randy's selling like a babyface. Randy is, and maybe I'm kind of too old school where it's babyface heels, but that's the way this story was built. And I really feel like Randy was selling everything that Randy was doing, how he was selling his back. It was making me have sympathy for him. And I don't think I was supposed to have sympathy for him based on how the story was told. But the story felt all over the place. I really didn't. I just didn't enjoy it. And people who know me, they know I'm a diehard WWE fan. Like, this is what I watched growing up. I always see what the product is doing and why they're doing it. From business mindset, getting Pat McAfee involved, that gets more eyes on the product and everything like that. But the way it was executed, it just left you unsatisfied. And no matter what good went on earlier in the night, for me, it just was like, no matter what good went on earlier in the night, I still felt like unsatisfied. And let me look at what else happened on the card night one. So Vakira Morgan, yes, I felt like that was a little rushed. I've seen Vakir have some great matches, and this is coming from somebody who has watched a lot of different eras. But let's talk about that match right quick. Before I go on to night two. Um, how can I put this? Let's talk about the what's happening right now. So we're seeing a switch in eras. We're seeing a lot of new stars built, and some people don't like too many new stars coming at one time. But look what we have. We have AJ Styles. We have AJ Styles. We have who else? John Cena. And then we're about to get to who else is leaving? Goldberg, who hasn't been a full time guy, but a lot of these bigger names that they've relied on to have bigger matches and everything like that, they're not there. They're not going to be there anymore. Okay, so we got to build the new stars. We got to build the Obas. We got to build a Javon. We got to bring up the Trick Williams. We got to have new stars constantly influxing in, but just making sure that we are building them properly. And I feel like Javon, Oba, Trick Williams, a lot of attention has been given to them, and I think they are swimming, as we say, swimming with the big dogs. They're coming in and they're doing what is asked of them, and they are proving that they belong. Um, but let's talk about night two. Well, no, I said I was going to talk about. See, I told y'all forgive me about the mistakes, but Vakira, she is somebody over the past couple months that has really gotten me behind her. Her presence, her in-ring skills. The new entrance music feels like main event entrance music. The entrance looks like main event entrance music. I just, I don't know. The match felt rushed. It felt like they didn't get enough time to tell the story that they could have told. Um, the Judgment Day interfering felt predictable, and it felt like we had a couple matches that had interference. Like we had a world title match where two women interfered on night one, right? We had the Judgment Day women come out and interfere night one. Then we're on night two, which we're about to get to, and we had the same exact thing happen. So I think they have to make sure that we have two separate nights of action and make sure we don't have a lot of things repeating that's happening on night one that is happening on night two. So let's talk about night two. We're going to start with what it started with was, it was a good way to start the show. I would say that the crowd hype, it got the crowd hype immediately. And I don't know, what happened, the match that happens, what I expected the match to happen. But I think the news coming out of this match is the aftermath of the match, which is the scene that you're seeing right here. Man, let me give my props to Brock Lesnar. Whether you like it or not, I think he's one of the greatest of all times. All the times. And you may not like it. You may like my opinion. But think about it, over the past 10 years, he's put over a lot of people. He's helped build a lot of people. And some people don't see it that way. But I think he was able to build a lot of people while still retaining his level, while still being a star and still staying a star. He was able to put other people over. And I think he did what he does again tonight. I think he put over like he should have. But let's give him his props. Surefire ballot Hall of Famer. He is a Hall of Famer. He's had some amazing moments. And I think he has always been the type like, hey, I'm at the level I'm at. If somebody wants my spot, if somebody wants to take it, come knock me off my pedestal. Come take it, and I'll be willing to give it to you. And I think we saw that tonight. Oba was ready to take that mantra as the next big thing, as the next big monster. Nobody has had that presence of Brock since him. So, we could say Braun Breaker, but not so much. We've seen some weaknesses in Braun Breaker's game, and he's still getting to where he's going to be another future main eventer. But I can see SummerSlam, Oba versus Roman, and we see what happened with The Rock and Brock with Oba and Roman. It may not happen, but I can see that happening. Okay, so let's get to the next match. Let's talk about the ladder match. And the ladder match was everything I expected it to be. A bunch of crazy spots. The Canadian destroyer from the Mexican destroyer off the ladder to JD was insane. Oh, the West Coast pop, yeah, that's what Rey Mysterio jumping over on Rusev and his face hitting the freaking ladder. I was like, oh my god, you know. Let's think about it. In the next 2 years at WrestleMania, we may see Randy gone, we may see Rey Mysterio gone. We don't know what's coming, but a lot of the guys who have built the company, sorry, it's late. A lot of the guys who have been legends and been there for a long time are leaving, are stepping away. So we don't know what we're gonna see, but it was great to see that match with Ray, and I felt like that whole match, the ladder match was built to elevate Penta as a champion and solidify his reign as the Intercontinental Champion. And I think we saw what it was supposed to be. It was what I wanted to see out of a ladder match with them. I think everybody got to shine. Yeah, I think it was good. I think we're starting to see Dragon Lee really hit his mark. I think adding the Styles Clash has been a great addition to his offense, and I think that's something that's going to help him continue to get over more and more with the crowd. And let's see what we have. What was next? Oh man, the crowd turning Sammy heel. Hmm. Look, I feel like it's organic. I don't know what he did either, but hey, they just like Trick Williams so much, and with Sammy losing and them getting behind Sammy so many times to win the world title, win the big one. I think that last time at the Royal Rumble when Drew beat him, the crowd was like, okay, we're tired of this. He's never going to win it. I feel like the crowd just actually gave up on him. They were just tired of supporting a loser. It is what it is. But I feel like he'll get that world title. I feel like he might get that Money in the Bank win. Who knows? Maybe I'm optimistic. Maybe it's LA Knight who finally gets the Money in the Bank. Or maybe it is one of these newer guys. I don't know. But I think the Sammy Trick Williams thing, I think it was a full-on complete double turn. But we still had Trick doing all the heel antics and Lil Yachty being involved. And once again, it's a business move having somebody with the popularity of Lil Yachty being involved in that match. Would I have rather see Trick just go over in a clean pinfall win? Yeah, probably. Maybe Sammy got distracted and hit Lil Yachty, which Sammy's facial expressions and work in the ring, I love it. And then he got hit with the trick shot. I don't know. Maybe that's what we should have saw. But what we got is what we got. We got Trick Williams with the belt. We got the moment at the end. And maybe he is moving on to be a full-fledged babyface. We'll see what direction they go. But the sky is the limit with him. We'll see. But let's go to what's next. Let's talk about the women's championship. Hey, Jade's entrance. I think we could have got a little more glitz and glam, maybe some snow falling, maybe it's so much they can do with the daytime. It felt like every entrance could have been 10 times better if we were in an arena or dark or if they were on the East Coast and it was nighttime. I feel like, of course, everybody feels like every entrance could have been 10 times better. I do, but I think Jade's entrance could have had a little more to it. I love Rhea's entrance. I love both of their looks. I feel like Jade delivered. We saw a couple new offensive moves. Her presence. I feel like she's only going to get better. There's a lot of hate online. But hey, you cannot deny her look, her presence, and that she delivered. And every time she's been on the big stage, I feel like she's delivered. So it is what it is. It's my opinion. Take it, leave it. I don't care. It's my opinion. The reversals at the end when Rhea went under and did the riptide and stuff. I just felt like what a good match sequence at the end. But also, you got to give it up to them. They built Jade. They did good by putting her in a tag team first, letting her learn from Bianca. Hey, they did a good job building her, not just bringing her in immediately and putting her in that position where she could have failed. I think she did good in her first run as champion. Um, then let's get to what's next. And I didn't talk about the demon. Come on, that entrance, y'all. Come on. The entrance. Come on. The demon entrance. Look, the look. I've been waiting on this for, I guess, 3 years. But it's the most marketable. It's the most marketable version of Finn Balor. I was just happy to see him out the pants and in the tights. I don't, I don't like the joggers. Some wrestlers wear it. A lot of wrestlers don't like tights. But, I'm an old school wrestling fan. I like to see wrestlers in the gear. And that was a great thing. Just to see him in that. The paint was good. The entrance with the streamers, the lighting. Although it wasn't nighttime, that entrance still was fire to me. Even though it wasn't nighttime, it was great. The match, they did what they needed to do. I just felt like night 2 delivered for me. Night 2, I enjoyed night 2 way more than I enjoyed night 1. And this was a great match for Dom. I feel like he's a future main eventer. Other people might not feel that way, but I felt like that was a good match. I liked the ending. I liked all the spots that they had. I am getting tired of seeing the same weapons in every single Street Fighter match. I'm sick of seeing the trash cans, the Kindle sticks, and it's just, can we come up with, I don't know, use a kitchen sink, use a shovel, use a broomstick. I don't know. I'm trying to think of other things. Use a frying pan. I don't know what else you can use, but I'm just tired of seeing the same weapons used. We haven't seen a stop sign in a long time. They're like, where the hell you get a stop sign from under the ring? Well, why the hell is there a Kindle stick in the trash can under the ring? I don't know. It's just my opinion. Well, shit, let's get to it. Let's get to my favorite part of the night. Let me find my little graphic. Come on now. This was a Wrestlemania match. This was a Wrestlemania main event. And, this match and the Gunther Seth Rollins match, they delivered, and every other match leading up to this match, I felt in night 2, built to this main event. And I feel like in this main event was the clearest this is awesome chance we got out of the whole night 1 and night 2. They, CM Punk, the story, the facial expressions, everything was what it needed to be in this match for me. It ended the way it should have ended. It was built the way it should have been built. I liked everything about it. Maybe other people didn't, but hey, now we got so many different stories that can be told. CM Punk can go away for a couple weeks, come back, the crowd will miss him. We'll hit a CM Punk chance. And so many people that he can have a rivalry with coming back. And so many people that Roman, oh man, we can get right into Roman and Seth Rollins, but who's the baby face? Who's the heel? Is that needed in today's time with these two? No, because there's already a story right there. But I got a feeling we're going to get Seth and Braun, of course, because that's what they wanted anyway. But I don't know. It's so many possibilities of stories that we can go to right now. But overall, let's talk about night 1. I didn't even talk about the 6-man tag and Jacob and McIntyre. Jacob and McIntyre, by the end of the event, it's kind of hard to remember that match, but they had some great little moments in the match. I call them little moments, but they had some great moments in the match. But again, we got to make sure that we're not repeating things that happened. Night 1, we saw the mighty moonsault with the table, right? With Jacob and Drew. And I love Drew McIntyre. The entrance was good. Jacob's entrance was good. Good storytelling in the match, but we had kind of like the same type of ending that we had with Finn Balor and we had with the Demon. I mean, the Demon and Dominic Mysterio. We kind of had the same ending. We had not the same ending, but we had the table spot. You know. So I feel like we got to be a little more creative when you got 2 nights event. I feel like every finish and everything that happens in night 1 should be completely different from everything and every finish that happens in night 2. And I think they got to work a little better on making sure that we don't have too many things that are similar that are happening. And the 6-man tag, I Show Speed. Hey, again, a business decision. Somebody who has millions of followers. His millions of followers are going to tune in to see what he's doing. They're going to want to know what he's doing. Same thing with Logan Paul. I understand everything that happens from a business decision. And hey, I don't watch his stream. I'm not into him or whatever. Matter of fact, I have watched his stream. Yes, I'm a professional wrestler. Yes, I'm traveling all over and doing this thing. But I'm also in school again, doing media. I'm learning different content aspects and learning how to do what I'm doing right now. And I did actually study some of his streams to see what some of the techniques and things that he does to make his stream stand out and why he is so popular. And I got to see, watching some of his streams earlier this week, like, okay, I get it. I understand what works for him, what doesn't work for him. And hey, we got a really good ideal of why people love him. Even when he did a little speed, thing like that, it was good. I enjoyed it. It was short. It was to the point. And overall, I gotta say that I thought night 1 started off good. Those 2 matches started off, but it just was like after those 2 matches, I was like, it's a lot of ebb and flows. But anyway, overall, this is my first look. Y'all forgive me for anything I messed up or anything tonight, but this was my first stream, and I didn't want to do it live tonight because I didn't really advertise it, but I did want to get the video out. But once again, this is your Hoochie Daddy Najasism. You can follow me on Instagram at the TheNajasism Najasism. If you want to follow my personal page, once again, that's the TheNajasism. And then also, We Are CV on YouTube is coming. This is my first little trial run of doing it, but it's actually coming on YouTube. And then the Instagram, We Are CV, it's going to be there. You can go ahead and follow We Are CV right now. It's no post or anything, but we're going to get some clips and stuff done of this. And like I said, the Wrestling With It podcast is on Instagram already. We already got a couple episodes that were up on Spotify and Apple Podcast and all of that. So this is just the beginning. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. Drop a comment. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you agree with. Tell me what you don't agree with. And don't forget to stand up and clap for your Hoochie Daddy.